but you haven't touched the monster. You won't even scream at all. Call me baby, my attachment is much harder. I'm the ghost creeping up your wall.
The information provided in my videos are for entertainment purposes only. I offer no statements of fact beyond those available through information freely available to the public and through diligent public and private research. While I may theorize, question, and speculate about certain persons in my videos, I leave the conclusions to the audience. To the extent that pending or settled criminal matters, crimes, or possible crimes are discussed in my videos, all parties or defendants are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Welcome and thanks for tuning in to the Jackson Files. In this episode of Devil's Advocate, The Chadwell Coincidence, we'll be taking a closer look at James Bryan Chadwell, specifically proposing his potential involvement in the Delphi, Indiana case that took the lives of two young girls, Abigail Williams and Liberty German. The primary purpose of this video is the pursuit of justice for Abby and Libby. We won't be discussing whether the accused, Richard Allen, was or was not involved. Rather, as the title suggests, we'll be a devil's advocate and go over several reasons why I personally believe that Chadwell was involved. Much of this information is from my own investigative research, beginning in 2021, as well as information of public record. I ask that you please keep an open mind and think of all of this information in its totality, and determine whether it's all coincidental or that he could possibly have been involved. Again, my primary purpose for making this video is to bring whoever was involved in this horrific crime to justice. I encourage dialogue in the comments, but ask that you please keep it respectful. Any hateful or disrespectful comments will be deleted. Let's get started.
Is accused of kidnapping and attacking a 9-year-old girl found chained in his home. He's also being investigated in connection with the murder of two 8th-grade girls 4 years ago. We spoke with some of his family members who told us flat out he's evil.
He's a monster, exactly. He is an absolute evil person.
He's talking about his own brother, James Chadwell, who is accused of imprisoning a 9-year-old girl in his basement and is under investigation in the unsolved murders of teens Libby German and Abby Williams in 2017.
Do I think that he's capable of that kind of crime? Absolutely. Absolutely. He's shown numerous times, not only to his friends, but his family as well, that he has that kind of evil streak to him.
Chadwell's stepfather also fears the 42-year-old ex-con may be the mysterious figure caught on Libby's cell phone approaching them on an abandoned train trestle in Delphi, Indiana.
Is he capable? Probably. And should they let him back out on the street? Not ever. Throw the key away this time.
Chadwell's brother Ashley says James tried to drown him when he was 4 years old.
He is absolutely capable of killing someone.
Chadwell has been in and out of jail since he was a teenager.
I also just really don't like people. I have dogs.
His body is covered in tattoos. One across his chest says rebellious. But this is the tattoo that's drawing a lot of attention today. Some see an uncanny resemblance to slain Libby German. Look at them side by side. His brother says that's a relatively new tattoo.
I really don't think that he had that tattoo when he got out of prison.
This is a virtual reality reconstruction of the moment Libby and Abby were approached by the suspected killer. It was made by Crime Door, an app which recreates the scenes of notorious crimes. There's Libby bravely capturing the stranger on her cell phone. Now, could investigators finally be closing in on an arrest?
He should be locked up and never let loose again because he's a monster.
Chadwell is officially charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, and child molestation of the 9-year-old.
Section 1. The tattoos. Located on the inside of Chadwell's upper right arm is a tattoo that is eerily reminiscent of Abby Williams. The possibility that in fact it is a portrayal of the slain young girl is compounded upon realization that he has another tattoo that is eerily reminiscent of Libby German, located on the inside of his upper left arm. Not only do the tattoos resemble Abby and Libby, they also appear to show both girls crying, potentially even crying tears of blood. Could these tattoos be his way of commemorating his crime? Trophies of his victims, perhaps?
Also, over the course of the Delphi investigation, there were two primary sketches of a man police were looking for. They don't look alike. The sketch of the man with the hat came out during the start of the investigation in 2017, and 2 years later, a sketch of a man with curly hair was released. So I had this question. 2 years into the investigation, after we got the initial sketch, we were told to not rely on that sketch anymore, that this was a new sketch that came out that looked completely different than the original. But when we see the mugshot of Richard Allen, he looks mostly like that initial sketch. So why the change 2 years into someone that didn't look anything like the person that we were presented with on Monday?
Well, I'll answer the question in two parts. One, isn't that amazing? That he looks a lot like one and a little bit like the other, depending upon the eye of the beholder, right? And I've said all along those sketches are not photographs. There are reasons that we structurally, and not structurally, but logistically changed the investigative strategy throughout the middle of this in multiple phases. Some were not even recognized, nor did they have to be. But those detectives are going to base what they're going to do based upon what they know. And what they know comes from the people that live in that community and around the world, literally around the world. So I think that was the absolute right decision at the time to do what they did. I've always said that the two sketches are simply sketches, they're not photographs. It's a piece of an investigative puzzle. And when we're all done with this, we're going to be able to meld the two of them together. And we're going to find an individual. That's what happened.
Section 2. The sketches. Police released this first sketch of a suspect roughly 5 months after the murders, on July 17, 2017. As you can see, the comparison of James Bryan Chadwell to the sketch is uncanny. Indiana State Police released an updated sketch on April 22, 2019. As you can tell, this sketch was vastly different than the original, as it shows a clean-shaven, younger man with curly hair. While there appears to still be some similarities between Chadwell and the newer sketch, I agree with investigators that the two sketches are of two different individuals. In fact, later in this video, I will present a speculative theory on the identity of the younger suspect depicted in the updated sketch, who may have been an accomplice of Chadwell in the double homicide. Could it be that the video Libby supposedly took of the infamous bridge guy is actually a guy that's proven to sleep under bridges for extended periods of time and has countless photos of himself near bridges? Section 3. The Facebook photo, February 13, 2017. This was a privated photo originally uploaded to Bryan Chadwell's Facebook profile between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. on February 13, 2017, the same day that Abby and Libby went missing. Notice that the woman in the bottom left corner appears much thinner than the woman in the top left corner, and may even be wearing different clothing. The female in Chadwell's photo from February 13, 2017, is very thin and wearing a gray sweater jacket and blue jeans. Abby, also very thin, was last seen in Libby's Snapchat video, taken on the same day as Chadwell's uploaded photo, February 13, 2017. She is also wearing a gray sweater jacket and blue jeans, in addition to a pink top. If that wasn't weird enough, I found a photo on Libby's Facebook profile, where she is seen with Abby, her sister Kelsey, her other sister I believe, and another girl. I was informed by Abby's mother, Anna Williams, that the object Libby was holding in the photo is a selfie stick. The female in Chadwell's photo from February 13, 2017, had something visibly tucked into her jeans. It blew my mind when analyzing this further, and when comparing the tucked-in object to the selfie stick. As you can see, when a transparency overlay is applied over the tucked-in object with the selfie stick from Libby's photo, they appear to be, in fact, the same object. To me, it also appears that there is some unintelligible writing on the exterior of the jeans. If this actually is Abby and Chadwell's photo, could this be some kind of twisted advertisement? Or perhaps, a sick individual hiding horrific things in plain sight? Warning: the following may or may not contain graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised. When applying one specific filter to Chadwell's photo from February 13, 2017, the shadow on the ground underneath the female becomes very red, perhaps revealing a pool of blood. Her head also appears red, as does her left side, right above her waistline, and right next to the possibly identified selfie stick. Section 4, the Facebook photo, February 14, 2017. This was another privated photo originally uploaded to Brian Chadwell's Facebook profile on February 14, 2017, the same day that Abby and Libby's bodies were discovered. Notice that he appears freshly shaved. His caption states, "Sometimes, your kids just need to be reminded whom really is in charge." On the surface, his comment seems to be in regards to his dog and him having the ball in his mouth and not letting the dog have it. However, given everything discussed thus far, the comment being posted this particular day, and knowing that 2 kids were just found deceased, I believe it's highly feasible that his comment was a subliminal message to either the girl's parents, or just the community, or parents in general. Section 5, the audio.
A key piece of evidence in that case is that brief video and audio clip saying, "Guys down the hill." Cops say 14-year-old Libby German captured it on her cell phone before she was killed. And we had an audio expert compare the voice on the recording with the voice of James Chadwell to see if there's a match.
They're the most tantalizing clues in the unsolved murders of 14-year-old Libby German and her best friend, Abby Williams. The haunting video and audio were recorded by Libby at the moment the murder suspect comes at them on this train trestle in Delphi, Indiana in 2017. Inside Edition asked a top forensic audio expert to compare the mystery voice with that of James Chadwell, who faces charges of imprisoning a 9-year-old girl in his basement 20 miles from Delphi.
Come find me, or I will find you.
We discovered recordings of Chadwell's voice on his creepy social media posts.
I'm in my boxers. Thunderstorm. Because I can. Live life. Have fun.
In this post, he's training his pit bull outlaw to chase cats.
Kitty cat. You see it? Kitty cat. I love you.
And here, he's designing a tattoo of a woman being attacked by a demon in a tree.
It's all about putting your emotions and your feelings on paper.
A creepy dude for sure with a long criminal history. But does his voice sound like the man Libby German recorded? The recordings were analyzed by forensic audio expert Anthony Nelson at the Garrett Discovery Audio Lab in Orlando. Are you able to say that there are any similarities between these two sources of audio?
No, I'm not, Steven. Basically, the audio file is a little too short. When you only have 3 seconds, it's just not enough time to figure out those kinds of characteristics.
A disappointing outcome, but could it still be the same man? As detectives reportedly set their sights on the 42-year-old laid-off welder.
So apparently I was liking some videos that I was just trying to support and didn't really understand exactly what they were about. But, I'm still gonna fucking support you guys. You got me, I got you. That's all that matters. Keep doing what you're doing. So this national rape thing, it's a bunch of young ass kids fucking starting some bullshit just to get some social media support. They're not really fucking doing that. Nobody does that. If they do, we fucking kill them. That's all. They know. Don't be a lamb. Be a lion. If you fall into that trap, that's your fault. Because you're a fucking dumbass. Get over it. So I said I would never do this. Because I'm not photogenic for one thing, but I also just really don't like people. I have dogs. But I just want to say thank you to all you people out there that are sharing your stories and inspiring the rest of us to keep trying and doing our best. It means more than you know. That's really all I got. I'm not here for the shares and the likes and any of that stuff. I'm just here for support for others. So, all you chicks on TikTok trying to sling your booty or sling your taco, whatever you're trying to do, you need to wrap that shit up. It ain't working. Nobody. We got Pornhub for that shit. We don't need your little extras. So, take that shit somewhere else. We're looking for a real ass woman. Over the age of 30. And confident. And you know who you are.
Section 6. The Memorial Ride. This clip is from the Memorial Ride on February 18, 2017, just 4 days after the girls' bodies were discovered. Could this be Chadwell standing with some of the family? This should easily be able to be debunked if this individual can be identified as someone else. However, I believe it does resemble Chadwell a bit, and there are some photos on his Facebook of Harley-Davidson memorabilia. Section 7. Chadwell Children. Is it possible that Chadwell has children? You'll understand why this could be relevant to the case as this video progresses. While residing in South Dakota, he was arrested on August 25, 2012, for driving under the influence, with 10 and 11-year-old children in the vehicle. While initially charged with child abuse, he pled guilty to contributing to the neglect of a child, a misdemeanor. Who were the two children in Chadwell's vehicle at 11:30 p.m.? Please remember, any persons mentioned in this video are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law, and all of this is speculative theory and not proven factual. Chadwell has two nephews, Austin and Aaron, that I believe would have both been 10 and 11 years old in 2012. More than likely, they are indeed his nephews, and not his own kids. However, with him spending roughly 15 years in and out of prison before his final arrest, it is intriguing. I also think Brian's comment to Austin on Facebook, stating, "I should have been there more," sounds more like something you'd hear from an absent father, rather than an absent uncle. It sparks curiosity further upon learning that in January of 2021, when the mother of the boys, Jessica Chadwell, filed a petition for dissolution of marriage from their father, Christopher Chadwell. She had first filled it out without kids, and had to redo it showing kids. Their father was also charged in September of 2011, with domestic battery committed in the presence of a child less than 16 years old. The very peculiar thing is that on February 14, 2017, there is a post on Austin Chadwell's Facebook profile where he comments, "Hey, I didn't make it because the same thing, not feeling well." It says there are 5 comments in total on the post. However, only 3 are seen. Could one of the missing comments been from Brian Chadwell mentioning he wasn't feeling well and didn't make it to an event he was supposed to be at, either on February 13th or 14th? After all, it does seem like Austin's comment is in response to a previous one on the post that is no longer there. Not to mention the post is liked by Brian. In September of 2019, Austin was arrested and charged with operating a motor vehicle with a false plate that belonged to another vehicle. This charge is clear proof that Austin could be deceptive, and it's time to revisit the second sketch released in 2019 of a younger suspect. Whether he is Brian's nephew or potentially his own son, could Austin Chadwell have been Brian's accomplice in committing the double homicide of Abby and Libby? One sketch looks very much like Brian. One sketch looks very much like Austin.
He's guilty. The man who abducted, beat, and molested a 9-year-old girl in his Lafayette home faced a judge today and admitted to all of it. James Chadwell II is now going to prison for the rest of his life. Today at 5, Emily Longnecker watched it all happen from inside the courtroom and says the guilty plea saves jurors from a horrific trial.
Tippecanoe County prosecutor Pat Harrington says he is relieved that this case didn't go to trial because the police body camera footage that a jury would have seen is some of the most shocking he has ever seen. So bad, Harrington says, that many who have viewed it have had to have counseling. Handcuffed and dressed in a prison jumpsuit, 42-year-old James Chadwell II told a Tippecanoe County judge he was guilty of trying to murder a 9-year-old girl, first luring her to this home with the promise of petting his dog. In front of the little girl's family who was in the courtroom, Chadwell also admitted to beating the child, strangling her to the point of passing out, and then sexually molesting her in his basement.
It's disturbing that a human being could ever treat another person in this manner.
Chadwell told the judge he suffers from schizophrenia and post-traumatic stress disorder and had been drinking April 19th when he attacked the little girl who lived nearby. Police later found her in Chadwell's basement on a second visit to his home that same day after the girl's mom reported her missing. On their first visit, Chadwell told police the girl had been there but had left. Officers doubled back when neighbors said the last time they'd seen the 9-year-old was with Chadwell.
You heard him admit that his intent was to kill her. Had they not gone back, the results may have not been as they were today.
The case received wide media attention after Carroll County Sheriff Tobe Lesenby said they were investigating if Chadwell could be connected to the murders in Delphi of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. But Chadwell was never named a suspect in the case. Friday, his defense attorney spoke to that issue.
There's nothing to suggest that I've seen or that I've been told that he was part of that, so I don't believe he had anything to do with the murders of Abigail and Liberty.
Prosecutor Harrington said he hadn't discussed the possibility of a connection between Chadwell and the Delphi murders with anyone.
They keep that investigation very close to themselves, and they should.
Harrington remained focused on his case, saying the only closure for the victim was that the criminal case was over.
Every day is a day where they are trying to recover from their grieving process.
Chadwell's sentencing is set for December 16th. He could face up to 160 years in prison.
Section 8, 90-year sentence. James Bryan Chadwell was charged for attempted murder, child molesting, attempted child molesting, kidnapping, criminal confinement, battery resulting in serious bodily injury, and strangulation. Section 9, fake Facebook profile. There's a Facebook profile with the name James Tousley. The person looks very young, around Abby and Libby's age, yet it shows went to Delphi High School from 2010 to 2014. In one photo, I confirmed with Chadwell's brother, Ashley Chadwell, that Bryan is in the photo, along with his dog and couch. The main photo is even a dog behind the wheel of a vehicle. There's a photo of a white Ford Mustang on February 23, 2017. 2 days prior, there was a photo of what looks like either brand new tires or tires that have been recently cleaned. 2 years later, in January of 2019, there's a post indicating he got a new vehicle, yet it appears to possibly be the same white Mustang. There is also a photo of artwork that looks similar in style to that of artwork posted by Chadwell on his own Facebook in July of 2017. There's also evidence that this person used Snapchat, and at least had an interest in weapons. Again, doesn't seem like posts a young person around the age of 10 would be making in 2014, in my opinion. Another individual mentioned early on in this case was Max Snowberger. Not only was he the person who started the Rest in Peace Abby and Libby group on Instagram, supposedly before that was known to the public, but on Facebook, he's friends with Garrett Kurtz, Abby Williams, Libby German, Austin Chadwell, and James Tousley. It was also said Max was involved with setting up a meeting between the girls and someone at the bridge, and was originally meant to have gone with them, but backed out. Section 10. Other items of interest. I'm unsure of what year this was posted, but it's extra eerie if January of 2017. Chadwell states, "I'm in love with a little redhead. You make my soul smile. I'll chase you till I can't walk. Then I'll chase you in my wheelchair." Garrett Kurtz, another person mentioned early on in the case, who is currently in prison for other murders, has the word cowboy next to his name on Facebook. Oddly, Brian Chadwell had the word outlaw next to his. Could this be indication that they were in some kind of club or group together? This is a post Chadwell uploaded to his Facebook on February 13th, 2017, apparently from Kokomo, Indiana, stating, "Another pic of my landlord's truck. Boy has good taste." Then on March 9th, 2017, another post seemingly in the same truck, stating nostalgic, 260 AC, open 2 windows and drive 60. Could this potentially be some kind of coded message to somebody? I'm unsure if this is Chadwell's ex-wife or just a former girlfriend, but shows in 2010 he was served a protective order, and she filed a petition for relief from domestic abuse. This photo is from Google Earth from February of 2017. I was unable to narrow to a specific date. However, I know it is before the 20th. While it's too hard to figure out, in my opinion, one person resembles Chadwell, with his hands in his pockets, and possibly even his dog. Another person in the photo, to me, resembles possibly Richard Allen or Ron Logan. This is another post from Chadwell's Facebook on February 14th, 2017. It was a video clip of a dog rolling around in mud. It's kinda creepy that even in a childhood photo with his siblings, Brian has some kind of sharp object in his hand. Thank you for watching. Please be respectful in the comments. May there be justice for Abby and Libby.